The assist, you know that it's #1 show that breaks down the game. If you can't play defense, stay out my way. Dribble the ball, come down the lane. 5 seconds on the shot clock, who gon' win us the game? You wanna hear Nick updates and trade rumors? Post-game reviews, this the place you tune in. So tell a friend just to keep the ball moving. Like the page if you feeling the movement. Every game we coming to win. Give us a sub like a player that came off the bench. This is NBK, nothing but Knicks.
Knicks family, what's poppin'? It's your boy. Excuse me, ladies and gentlemen, for my tardiness. And I know this is a pretty late program since the Knicks play in about 15 minutes. But, I had a busy morning, so I had to take care of some things. But I'm here now, ladies and gentlemen, and we'll take you all the way up until game time. And then I'll be on the post-game report. Post-game show is going to come a little bit later tonight. I probably won't get on until, I probably won't get on until about 10:30 tonight. If I'm lucky, I'll be able to get on earlier than that. But I don't think I'll be able to get on until later tonight. But hopefully, when I do get on, I'll be getting on to a New York Knicks win as they take on the Denver Nuggets today at 1 p.m. at Madison Square Garden, ladies and gentlemen. The last time the Knicks played the Denver Nuggets, they came away with a victory. Now, that game, when you think about that game, folks, it was totally different. The people playing were totally different for the Knicks and for the Nuggets. Derrick Rose actually played in that basketball game. So we'll see exactly how this is going to work for the Knicks tonight. A big game for the Knicks. I don't know if it's as big of a game for the Denver Nuggets, but it's definitely a big game for the New York Knicks. Would love to see the New York Knicks get this victory tonight over the Denver Nuggets, or today over the Denver Nuggets. The game begins again at 1 p.m. It's not on ESPN or anything like that. All right, it's at MSG on League Pass if you're not in New York. Now, there was rumors that Jalen Brunson has been, I don't want to say working out, but trying to put some pressure on that ankle to see if he'd be able to go tonight or today. But still, Jalen Brunson is, from the last that I seen, questionable. Right? Maybe it's changed since then. I'm not sure. And I'm pretty sure you guys will let me know in the chat if anything's changed for Jalen Brunson, if he's going or if he's not going. But let's take a look at the starting lineups in the event that Jalen Brunson does not go today. All right. As we've seen, Emmanuel Quickley has been the starting point guard for the Knicks over the last few games since Jalen Brunson has been out. So you're looking at Emmanuel Quickley, Quentin Grimes, R.J. Barrett, Julius Randle, and Mitchell Robinson. And for the Denver Nuggets, who will be fully healthy this time around versus the New York Knicks, you have Jamal Murray, KCP, Aaron Gordon, Michael Porter Jr., and Nikola Jokic. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a matchup that I do not like. I just don't like this matchup for the Knicks. Never have. And as long as the Denver Nuggets have the players that they have right now, I will not like this matchup for the Knicks. There's just, they have so many weapons on this team. And they have players that the Knicks just don't match up well with. Number one, Nikola Jokic. The Knicks just do not match up well with Jokic. Mitchell Robinson doesn't match up well with players like Jokic. And, of course, Mitchell Robinson, had expressed some frustration about his role on the team after the Knicks last win. He expressed some frustration about his role on the team. Made some comments about, you know, I feel like, I don't want to be running up and down the floor for cardio. I want to ball too. And then he went on KFTV's Instagram. I don't want to say he changed his tone, but he expressed what he was feeling at the time. He did apologize. I'm not going to go through the entire thing and read everything that he said, but he did apologize. He said, it was probably wrong timing, this, that, and the third. But this is the thing, Mitch. As we said before, we had the discussion the other night with Ron and John on the NBA Report. At this point in time, it's not going to change. This is what it is for you right now. So just rock with it. No reason in complaining about it. No reason in being upset about it. Just rock with it for right now. Do something about it in the off season. When you get into the off season, work on your game, work on your footwork, work on your inside offensive game, work on your outside offensive game, knock down free throws. Get out there and hoop with your squad during the summertime. You dig what I'm saying? Get out there, hoop with your squad. I know I understand. You're a dude, you love where you come from, and you like to be around your people in the off season, and you deserve that. But if you want to advance in your career, you may have to sacrifice some of that time so that you can be with your team. You dig what I'm saying? You may have to do some of those things. He also mentioned, just, some personal things going on at home that maybe created some frustration. So I get it. I understand. But anyway, Mitchell Robinson's got a matchup with Jokic. That's never a good matchup for Mitch. Never a good matchup for him. When he plays against guys like Jokic, it's tough for him, right? Even, anytime he plays against those centers that can stretch the floor a little bit, they can handle the ball from the mid-range spot. And I don't mean handle the ball as far as putting it on the floor, but they can control the ball and let guys cut around them. He struggles with those guys. Jokic is a guy that can post up as well. Obviously, Jokic is an MVP caliber player and could possibly be the MVP this season. So he struggles with those guys. You know what I mean? He struggles with those guys. I wouldn't put past seeing a lot of Hartenstein this game, right? You've seen it over the last couple of games when the Knicks have played centers, who have this style of Jokic. They've, Hartenstein got a little bit more burn. But anyway, that's a matchup to watch and a matchup to be concerned with, because Jokic is definitely an MVP caliber player. Okay? When you look at, let's go to the defensive matchups. Let's switch over to the defensive matchups. That way we can look at it a little bit more clear, right? Because you have Jamal Murray. Obviously, Robinson's going to be on Jokic, but you have Jamal Murray, who I assume will be guarded by Quentin Grimes. Only makes sense, right? Quentin Grimes has been guarding or defending the best wing or guard player all season long. No reason to change that now. I'm assuming Quentin Grimes will be on Jamal Murray, Emmanuel Quickly on KCP, R.J. Barrett and Aaron Gordon, Julius Randle, Michael Porter Jr., and then Mitchell Robinson and Nikola Jokic. Tough matchups all the way around. All the way around. I mean, Aaron Gordon has been a guy that's been it, throughout his career when he was with Orlando, that was giving you 18 to 20 points a game. You know what Michael Porter Jr. can do when he's healthy. KCP is a defensive guy, but he can also knock down the three and score some buckets. So this is a tough matchup for the New York Knicks. The Denver Nuggets, tops in the Western Conference. They've been there for most of the season and, wavered a little bit. Memphis was on top and whatever. There was a point in time when Denver wasn't playing as well, but they hit this stride and they're playing good basketball. You know what I mean? So, the Knicks, this is going to be a tough one. The last time they played, the Knicks won by a couple of points. The Denver Nuggets had injuries. The Knicks had different lineups out there on the floor, right? You definitely didn't have, Jalen Brunson was starting. I don't believe that Quentin Grimes was starting at the time because I think he was still injured. This was very early in the season, November, very early in the season. Two very different teams right now. Very different teams. And coming off the bench, and I got somebody sitting in the waiting room. So, I'm going to bring him in just a second. So be patient back there, my brother. Be patient. I'll get you in there in a second. You know what I mean? Just make sure your mic and all that stuff is clear. I had to talk about that with Ron and John the other day. How, I really enjoyed being on with Ron and John because when I'm on with Ron and John, I don't have to, say, hey, make sure your mic is right. I don't have to say, hey, get to the point. Like, how to do all that. I'm good. Them guys got it down. You know what I mean? The guy that's coming in, sometimes I got to do it with. And now, as you can see, I'm not in my normal studio. I'm away at my other studio, podcast studio, and I'm testing out a new way to bring people in. So, if I have a little bit of a glitch, please excuse me if I have a little bit of a glitch. All right, but let me talk about the bench, and then I'll get, Big Bubba in the building. And I'm pretty sure from the description that I just gave you, you figured out that it was Big Bubba. All right, but looking at the benches, ladies and gentlemen, the Knicks will have Miles McBride, Josh Hart, Obi Toppin, and Isaiah Hartenstein. We talked about Isaiah Hartenstein a little bit. Deuce McBride, the last game, 18 points in the last game. If Deuce can bring that level of play every night, and I'm not saying he's got to drop 18, but if he can, give you 12 off the bench during this time that Jalen Brunson is out, that is magnificent, ladies and gentlemen, in my opinion. If he can give you 12 points per game. And I'm really hoping that he can do that. With Deuce, I think if he attacks and he just puts it in his mindset to attack, it's going to help him. Because for the time that he's been playing with the Knicks, I'm not sure if he has known what his offensive role is or if he even had an offensive role. So he would play, in my opinion, kind of tentative. It was kind of like, okay, well, I'm not going to attack right now. I'm going to distribute. I'm going to facilitate. But you know what? Last game, he was attacking. And once he got into a little bit of a groove, knocking down shots and attacked, you could see it. He was like, okay, I can attack. I'm okay doing this. We'll see if his offensive game begins to come around. Because that'll be huge for the Knicks for the time that Jalen Brunson is not playing. Right? And also, it adds another guy that can attack. Another guy that can come off the bench, even if he's situational, that can come in and provide some offensive production. Of course, you know what Josh Hart is going to do. Obi Toppin. We'd love to have Obi Toppin have a good game today. Something that the Knicks will need because, the Nuggets have a bench that, with guys like Jeff Green and Bruce and Brown, they have some experience, a little bit of experience on that bench. Even Thomas Bryant. And I just read off the Nuggets bench: Bruce Brown, Jeff Green, Braun, Thomas Bryant. So we need Obi Toppin to have a good game too. The Nuggets bench is averaging 32.8 points per game. The Knicks 29.8. Now they shoot 46. The Nuggets bench, they shoot 46.4% from the field and 35% from the 3-point line, while the Knicks bench is shooting 45% from the field and 34% from the 3-point line. So yeah, the Knicks got their work cut out for them, ladies and gentlemen. Let me see if I can get this guy in and get things working the way that I expect they could and should work. All right. Big Bubba in the building. There you go, my man. You see that? He fixed himself, put himself in the center of the screen. I like that. Big Bubba, talk to me, man. What's popping? You got to unmute yourself. There we go. This is what I'm talking about, ladies and gentlemen. This is what I'm talking about.
What's going on, Sim? I'm doing really good, man. Had a very eventful week this week.
Okay.
I told my girl I loved her for the
Oh,
first time.
snap. See, you talk about me explaining. You talk about me. You say that I am always the one who is sharing your information, and you get up here and you just automatically, bam. I told my girl that I loved her. Like, come on.
This what I was excited about. I was excited about. I told her I loved her for the first time.
Okay, you don't have to tell us if she said it back. You don't have to do. You don't need to divulge that information. You don't have to do that.
No, it's good, man. It went well, man. It really did. It went well. I rented this space out for. I rented this. I'll tell you guys.
You don't have to tell us.
Well, I'm gonna say it anyway. Real quick. I rented this space out. This nice little place. I got her some flowers, and then I took. It's gonna sound corny, but I took it because we like to play chess.
Okay.
Me and her like to play chess, so I took the chessboard out. I spelled "I love you" out on the chessboard. And I just told her I loved her.
That's what's up. That's what's up. I'm not exactly sure that's what everybody came here for or to hear, but it is what it is.
Hey, we NBK family, so I got to tell the family the good news.
Okay. All right, that's what's up. So, what do you think about this game, or what does she think about this game tonight versus the Knicks?
Sim, I do think it's going to be a tough one. Just because to me he's the MVP of the league right now.
Yep.
They were on a little bit of a losing skid, but they got a W I think a couple nights ago. And historically we don't play.
I mean, more than I think they're back on a little bit of a winning streak. To be honest with
you. Yeah, and Sim, it's crazy.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, well, no, you're right. They won a game. They're 5-5 in the last 10.
Yeah.
Yeah. Still on top of the Western Conference by 4.5 games. They're 4.5 games above the Sacramento Kings.
They're gonna take number one. I don't think
they should.
I don't think no one's catching up.
They should.
Again, to me, Joker's the MVP. And historically, we don't play good against the team the last couple of years. We haven't played good against them. I think
at least now when they're fully healthy.
Yeah.
Right? Because the last time the Knicks played them, they beat them, but Jokic wasn't playing at that time.
Yeah, and that's a huge difference. And like you said before, Sam, I was listening. Mitch doesn't play well against these kind of centers, and this is the number one prime example of centers he doesn't play good against.
No doubt.
This has to be a team effort. I think the good thing, if I'm Tom Thibodeau, is that you can show the tape of them losing, and these last couple of games be like, this team is beatable. They're not unbeatable. So I think because right now their defense hasn't been good. I watched a couple of the Nuggets games. The defense hasn't been good. They have given up big leads right now. So you have a chance to do that because the Knicks do have a good offense, despite what people think. They have a top 10 offense. So it's possible to beat this team. You just have to play focused, play disciplined. And, hopefully I want Mitch to not be in his head. I know, I saw the report too. I saw, the comment and, what he wrote back and everything. I actually follow him on Snapchat. So I seen it when he posted it.
Right.
He just has to keep keeping his head. And, to me, it's going to be a team effort between him and iHeart and Rando. Those are going to be the three players I think are going to be guarding Joker. Is those three, and I think they have to have constant communication.
Mm-hmm. Well, they won't guard. They've got to have constant communication, but they won't be guarding them obviously at the same time.
Oh no,
those three won't be in the game at the same time.
Yeah.
Randall will be in with either one of them.
Yeah, when one of them comes out, be like, hey man, I seen him do this.
Yeah.
Just communicate between you two,
right,
and communicate with Randall. And again, I think the Knicks can beat this team. It's gonna be tough, but like I said before, these last couple of games with the Nuggets, they have proven that they can be beaten.
Right.
So
I mean, the
you know,
thing
like I
about the
said,
Knicks, the thing about the Knicks is they've been able to prove to us, or prove to us that they can beat the teams that we always say, hey, they're going to struggle versus this team, or they're going to struggle versus that team, and they've been able to, a lot of times get wins versus those teams. And Isaiah, you're falling off the screen again. You're falling off the screen again. Yeah, stay in the middle. You're already bigger than me on the screen. Stay on the screen. Stay in there.
I can't go lie. So I'm looking at my head right now. I'm like, dang man,
Yeah, well,
is this bad?
it's a different camera angle. Different
Okay.
camera angle, so I'll give you that. You know what I mean? I'm sitting at a table and this and that. You know what I mean? You're jumping out. So it's all good. That's all
Okay.
good. But I just want you to stay centered. Stay centered, But I mean, I think Mitch will be okay. You know what I'm saying? Mitch is, I don't want to say he's calling out for help, but needed to express himself at that time.
Yes, Sim. To me, and I think a lot of Knicks fans and I, was on Twitter and stuff like that, Bleacher Report. I seen every Knicks fan had the same reaction, pretty much.
Go ahead, man. It's too easy to interrupt you. Go ahead and say
I
what you're
know, I
saying,
know,
man.
I
Go
know.
ahead.
No, no so Sim, everybody was just saying why now when we're winning? You know what I'm saying? It's wasn't immature. Was it immature? Yeah, it definitely was. Does Mitch have to grow up? Yeah. But like we're human. We all have outbursts. I just wish that he would have just talked to the team first, talked to Thibs, talked to one of the assistant coaches, and we don't know if he didn't do that. But my thing is this with Mitch: if you want to be involved in it, and I've seen someone say this, and it made sense. If you want to be in offense, hit your free throws.
Well, I mean, yeah, he's got to hit his free throws. Also, you know, the offense isn't exactly designed for Mitchell Robinson
No,
to catch the ball.
no, so
You know what I
it's
mean? But
not. But
but you know,
but
but he
also, but
he's got to. It's not designed for him to catch the ball. But he's also got to. He's got to work on his game in the off season and do those things there. Listen, I don't think it's going to be an issue. I think it's good. I
no, I
think
don't
it's
think it's
done
this
with. I
issue.
don't think it's going to be an issue. So he said what he said. He got it off of his chest. Sometimes that's all you need is to get it off your chest. He got it off his chest, and I think he's going to be fine. What we need from Mitch is to play monster defense today, grab defensive and offensive rebounds, get a couple of blocks. If you get a chance to catch your oop and convert it. If you go to the free throw line, knock down your free throws. That's what we need from Mitch.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? And this
and,
is a
and, and
team. This is a team that everybody has a role,
yes,
and you play your role. Be a
Simeon.
star in your role, and he's got his role. He just got to rock out with his role.
Simeon. Here's the thing, right? It's and you mentioned it during this thing. Well, I'll say this one thing, right? Mitch, play with your teammates during the off season.
Yeah,
Like
that's
we
big.
see what you do. You
Hmm.
go, you listen, and listen. You go back home. You go to your local high school gym, and you play with your friends.
Right.
Like that's not gonna get you nowhere. Because we all see the videos. He does it every year, where he dribbling up the court, shooting threes, high school threes, and it's like, bro, you're playing with your friends, you're not playing with other NBA talent.
Yeah.
You got to do better with that. Also, too, my thing is, Sim, this is people might not like Bill Belichick, but when he says do your job, know your role, he means it. Because look, right, you think you're not involved in the offense, Mitch, that's a lie. You grab offensive rebounds. You help us generate more offense. If it wasn't for you, sometimes we wouldn't have all these chances to get all these points.
Yeah. And I do want to say, Jalen Brunson, ladies and gentlemen, is starting. All right, so it will be Jalen Brunson, Quentin Grimes, R.J. Barrett, Julius Randle, and Mitchell Robinson. So now that we know that Jalen Brunson is starting tonight, and I don't mean to cut you off, when talking about Mitch, but now that we know that Jalen Brunson is starting, how do you see that starting? How do you see the matchups now? right? Because now you're talking about you have someone's got to guard Jamal. I mean, obviously, we think it's still going to be um, Quentin Grimes who's guarding Jamal Murray, right? Still going to be Quentin Grimes guarding Jamal Murray. That only makes sense. But now, so I'm assuming now Jalen Brunson is probably going to guard KCP,
Yeah.
right? That way, you hide any defensive deficiency from Jalen Brunson. Make sense to you, or do you see something
No.
different happening? Talk to me.
Makes sense to me. Uh, it's gonna be Jalen on KCP. I mean, it's always gonna be like that for Jalen. He's always gonna go at the opposing two versus the one usually, unless the one is really not that offensive minded. It is what it is. I mean, also too, Jalen's coming back from 9 days of rest,
Hmm.
so he has to get back into the motion of the defense and everything like that. So
Yeah,
it's gonna be a
yeah,
little
and,
while,
and,
but
and, and, after coming back from so much rest, um, not so much rest. I don't want to say so much rest, but after coming back from an injury, an ankle injury, you probably don't want to have to guard someone like Jamal Murray, who's going to be pretty shifty.
yeah,
I don't think you want to test it like that at the moment,
no. And
right?
and also too, Sim, it's like, I mean, I was kind of comfortable letting him rock. I thought they were gonna let him rock one more game.
Hmm.
But you know what? If he's good to go, then hey,
That's the thing. That's the thing for me. I want him to be 100% good to go.
I'm
100% good
with
to
you.
go. I don't want it to be that he is playing hampered. You know what I mean? I don't
Yeah,
want him to be playing hampered because then, eventually that hurts us
in the long
in
run.
the playoffs, in the long run, in the playoffs. You know what I mean? You want him to be 100% healthy going out there. Now, of course, I think, me and Ron and John, also I think me and Josh probably talked about it. If you leave it up to Jalen Brunson, he's going to play.
Sim, if
He's
if
going
you
to
leave
play.
it if you leave it up to Jalen Brunson, he would have finished Sacramento. He would have finished in Sacramento.
I don't know. He walked off on his own. He
So
took
so
himself
he,
out of that. He knew he was in pain. He took himself out of
yeah.
that one. So I don't know.
Well, so this is tough, Sim, because this is gonna go against Thibs. If a player tells me he's good, he's good.
Hmm.
Sometimes you got to intervene and save a play from himself. Now, again, I hope Brunson understands his body. I mean, he knows his body better than anyone. And if he says he's good to go, I'm going to take his word. But if there's doubt in you as a coach, you have to do what's best for the team. Because look, it's almost a foregone conclusion. The Knicks are going to make the playoffs. Knocking on wood, God willing, we're projecting to make the playoffs.
Yeah. 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 Definitely. Yeah. Without a doubt. I also
So
think, but I also think Tom Thibodeau, goes by the trainers too. If the trainers say that he's good, then he's gonna trust it. You know what I mean? If the trainers say he's good, he's gonna trust it.
no, of course, like I said, I just hope
Now
it's because my
the,
main my biggest thing is to get into the playoffs as healthy
as
as
healthy as possible,
possible.
as healthy as possible, right? And the game, the game. I'm looking at it right now. They have the same starting lineups that we have on the screen right now: Brunson, Grimes, R.J. Barrett, Randall Robinson for the Knicks, Jamal Murray, KCP, Aaron Gordon, Michael Porter Jr., and Nikola Jokic for the Denver Nuggets. Okay. I mean, listen, Jalen Brunson, the players also, they play a role because they have to let the trainers know, oh yeah, I'm good to go. I'm healthy. Or not I'm healthy, but it doesn't hurt. Yes. And, when I push off on it, there's no pain. Or there's this amount of pain, that amount of pain. When I do these lateral movement drills, I have this amount of pain or that amount of pain. You know what I mean? Or I have no pain at all. So obviously, some of it is, you got to rely on the players to tell you the truth as far as their pain is concerned. You know what I mean? So hopefully Jalen Brunson is trustworthy. And the Knicks win the tip, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not going through the entire game. All right. I'm not going through the entire game. I'm going to get off, so you guys can watch the game. But the Knicks win the tip. Jalen Brunson, looks like he's moving okay on that leg, on that ankle. Looks like he's moving okay, and he takes the first shot of the game and comes up short on a three. R.J. Barrett with the rebound. Jalen Brunson with another three, and he knocks it down. So
Hey, there we go.
maybe he's looking good. Maybe he's looking good.
Hey, son, don't get you good. Son, don't get you caught up in no play-by-play right now.
I'm not going to get caught up in the play-by-play. Not going to get caught up in it. One of these days I might do a little bit of play-by-play, but I'm not going to get caught up in it. I want to give a shout-out to my man, Uncle Fulio. Thank you for the super chat. Let me bring that across the screen so everyone can see it. He said, Malcolm Brogdon can play 70 games at most this year. IQ has missed one game. However, started 15 games. Who wins the sixth man of the year? It's a tough one, man. But if you're talking, it's a tough one, right? The Boston Celtics are top team in the Eastern Conference. The Knicks, currently the fifth seed in the Eastern Conference. That's a tough one. I don't know who wins sixth man of the year. That's a really good question. You know what I mean? I'm going with IQ. Obviously, I'm biased. I'm going with IQ. I want him to win sixth man of the year. But it's a tough one. Good question. Good question. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to let you go ahead and get to the basketball game. All right? I don't normally call games, so I'm not going to call this one. All right? So I'm going to let you go ahead and get to it. I will be on a post-game show later on tonight. Probably 10:30 or so. I'll be doing the post-game show, so make sure you join me there. The Knicks are up 5-2 right now. Looks like Nikola Jokic just scored the basketball. All right, Mitchell Robinson had the ball in his hands. Went to Brunson, back to RJ. RJ cross-court to Grimes, to Randall in the corner. Takes a dribble, probably an ill-advised shot. He missed it. Knicks get the offensive rebound. Grimes knocks down the three. The Knicks are up 8-2, and I'm going to leave you with that one, ladies and gentlemen. I'm out of here, and I will catch you on later tonight. Peace.
This is NBK, nothing but Knicks. When Sim passed the assist, you know that it's #1 show that breaks down the game. If you can't play defense, stay out my way. Dribble the ball, come down the lane. 5 seconds on the shot clock. Who gon' win us the game? You wanna hear Nick updates and trade rumors? Post-game reviews, this the place you tune in. So tell a friend just to keep the ball moving. Like the page if you feeling the movement. Every game we coming to win. Give us a sub like a player that came off the bench. This is NBK, nothing but Nick.